Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now we occasionally refer to Richard Stolk's amazing SVS series. Every week Richard publishes a Sudoku with a different rule. The fact that he's got to number 454 in the series tells you how many weeks this has been going on. It's basically the bones of 9 years now. Because Richard was in there before Cracking the Cryptic, well before, and has been creating these puzzles for a long time, and they're fantastic. So occasionally Richard recommends one to us himself. Sometimes somebody else recommends one to us, but sometimes we just do one anyway. And that's this week's Little Thermometers. They're not little because the thermometers are short, but because they're like little killers. And I will explain these new rules in a moment. And I'm really looking forward to giving this a go. Don't forget, on Patreon, you've got Off by One, the monthly puzzle hunt, brilliant fun with Japanese sums and a calendar of puzzles. On Patreon, we've also got Gridogram and Connections and Crosswords, and they are great fun. So do check us out on Patreon, great stuff there. We've also got the apps which feature, well, Thermo Sudoku is relevant to today, but Classic Sudoku 2 is the latest, and there are the Worms as well. So great content in the apps too. That's all advertising. Let's have a look at today's puzzle. It's the first link under the video. It's called Little Thermometers by Richard, who is Richard Stolk. And I'm going to explain the rules now. We have to... normal Sudoku rules apply. So 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now, a clue outside the grid indicates the presence of a thermometer that is fully placed in the direction of the arrow, where all the digits on the thermometer add to the number of the clue. So in this, there's a thermo somewhere in these 6 cells. All of the digits on the thermo add to 20. The bulb is always closest to the clue, so it must point southwest. The digits on a thermometer are all different, and they strictly increase from the bulb to the tip. So this thermo could go 5, 7, 8, or it could be longer and go something like 1, 2, 8, 9. Or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that would also work for 20. Thermometers are minimally 3 cells long, and they include all possible digits, meaning that the first digit behind the thermometer may not be larger than the last digit on the thermometer. So let me just imagine that this thermometer went 2, 3, 7, 8. That was the thermo that the 20 was pointing at. What this means is that this digit can't happen to be a 1 because it would be on the thermometer then. And this digit can't happen to be a 9 because it would be on the thermometer. So the first digit behind the thermometer, that's this one, may not be larger than that. And the last digit before a thermometer, that's this one, may not be smaller than that. So there we go. Thermometers may overlap other thermometers. So we're going to have to find the thermometers in this grid. There are only, 9 outside clues to work on, and no given digits in the grid, because Richard is an absolute expert at setting these. Give it a try. It's a fascinating idea. The reason, as I said, they're called little thermometers is because these normally clues outside the grid pointing diagonally are little killer clues. It doesn't necessarily mean they're all small thermometers, but they might be. Let's have a go. Let's get cracking. Okay, so all the thermometers are at least 3 cells long. So in addition to that telling us that this 7 thermo has got to be 1, 2, 4, because all the numbers on it are different. That does also tell us this 13 thermometer is 3 cells long because it's only got a maximum 3 cells it can point to. This 21 is 3 cells long. This 17 is 3 cells long as well. So I'm just trying to delineate in different colors. Right, the 25 must be 4 cells. Why can't that be 3? Because you need more than 3 cells to make 25 add up. if they're all going to be different. 7, 8, 9 only add to 24. Okay, these two cells are on the 7 thermo, which goes 1, 2, 4. So that's either, oh sorry, that first one is either 1 or 2, and this second one is either 2 or 4, depending whether the thermo starts here, 1, 2, 4, or starts here, 1, 2, 4. The 16 thermometer must include that cell. It's going to be 5 long, and that is the third cell. Sorry, there is a maximum of 5 cells along here, and that third cell must be in any thermometer of length 3 that is achievable. Right, I'm going to start. I started pencil marking the 7. I'm going to have a look at this 13. And the middle digit maybe especially. If this was a 6, that would be at least a 7, and we would be too high because they would add up to a minimum 13 plus another 1 is 14, which is too much. So that can't be as high as 6. I don't think it can be as low as 2, because that would be a 1 and you couldn't have a 10 in the last cell. So that digit is 3, 4 or 5. And this is what you find. And there were a couple of the puzzles in the Wind and the Willows Sudoku hunt that we ran recently where you found that this kind of pattern lends itself to studying the middle digit. So here, this can't be 3 because 3, 2 is 5. 4, 3 would still need a 14 there. 5, 4 would need a 12 there. Even 6, 5. 6 is too low. Because if this was a 6, that would be no more than a 5. They could add up to no more than 11, and that would have to be a 10 or more. So that's not a 6. That is 7 or 8. This is therefore 8 or 9 because it's higher as we go down this thermo. Now, if that's 7, 8, this is 6. If that's 7, 9, this is 5. If that's 8, 9, this is 4. The 25 clue, this is long, maybe let's do the 17 first. Although it's a very middly number. If that was 3, well, it wouldn't be enough. 2 and 3 is only 5, we'd need 12 there. Even 4 won't be enough. 4 and 3 is 7, we'd need 10 there. So this is 5, 6 or 7. It can't be 8 because that would put a 9 here, add up to 17 already, and we couldn't get that cell into the mix. So we've got a 5, 6 or 7 in the middle. Now on the 25, that's quite a big number. It could go 1, 7, 8, 9. So we can't constrain that cell. Let's constrain this one. No, let's constrain this one. If this was a 5, the most you could get going backwards is 5, 4, 3, which is 12, plus 13 would be needed there. If this was 6, 6, 5, 4, you'd still need a 10 here. So this is not 6, this is 7 or 8. This one is 8 or 9. And that is going to be our way into the puzzle. Because the 34 thermo is going to require 5 cells at least. And it clearly can't have this cell in the thermo because then we'd be starting with, even though there was a rule that thermos may overlap other thermos, this one can't. Because you'd start with 8 and have a 9 and you'd be finished. So those 5 must be the length of the 34 thermo. And I think, sorry, let's choose a different color. I think they must be 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's how you make up 34 in 5 cells. You do in a killer, so I suppose you do in a little thermo as well. Oh, this 15, I haven't really looked at that. It's got to use the middle cell. Oh, and there's a 20, which I haven't analysed as well. Okay, well, I don't know. Never mind about that. Right. This 9 is not in the 7 thermo, which has to be 3 cells. So that goes 1, 2, 4, starting in box 3. Now we're getting digits in the grid. This is good. Can the 20 thermo start with a 4? Actually, yes. If it was 479, that would be fine. This digit can't be a 4 by Sudoku now, so that's 5 or 6. 5 would go with 7, 9. No, wrong. No, that is right. 5 would go with 7, 9. 6 would go with 7, 8. Does this now always have to be a 7? Yes, it does. That stops this being a 7. And now this probably has a minimum. I think all I ruled out was 1 from here. 2, 6, 9 would still work and add up to 17. That's not quite as enterprising as I was hoping. This can't be 7 or 6 by Sudoku. And it can't be 8 because then the thermo's not working, so it's less than that. Let's say 5, 4 or 3. If this was a 2, that would be a 1. They would add up to 3. These would have to add up to 22. Right, if that was a 3, that would be a maximum 2. That's 5. These would still have to add up to 20, and that can't be done. Maybe it doesn't even work if this is a 4. If this is a 4, that's maximum 3, and these have to add up to 18, and that can't be done. So that's not a 4. That's 5. This is now 6. And these two add up to 11 on the blue, don't they? So that can't be 5 anymore, which it couldn't be by Sudoku. Now, this pair, we know from up here, add up to either 15, 16 or 17. That means this is 5, 4 or 3. Well, it's not allowed to be 5. That is 3 or 4. One of these is going to be determined now. If that's a 4, 9, these add up to 16 and a 7, 9. If that's a 3, 8, these are 8, 9. So this digit's always 9 now. That's now not allowed to be 9. We've got a 7, 8 pair. And if that's not allowed to be 9, this isn't allowed to be 2. And now there's a 3, 4 pair. This is a very clever puzzle by Richard. Oh, that can't be 3 because this digit can't be 1 or 2 in the box. So that's 4 or 5, and this is 3 or 4. Now, these add up now to either 7, 8 or 9. Well, it can't be 4, 5, can it? That would leave this to be another 4 by the maths, and that doesn't work for the thermo. I don't think this can ever be 5. 3, 5, 5. This is a 4. That's a 3. This is a 6. That's now a 5 by Sudoku because it sees the 6. This is a 9 by the maths. This 16, we haven't improved our understanding of that at all. Or this 15, maybe I just haven't thought about that one enough. Let's think about this 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is possible, but it's no longer possible because that digit can't be 4. So it's not a 5-cell thermo. It's either 3 or 4. If it goes to this cell, that can't be 9, 8 or 7. That would have to be no more than 6. I suppose 1, 3, 5, 6 is possible. Okay, I don't know. I don't know how we're meant to work this one out. Maybe I should be doing Sudoku now. I mean, there are things I can do by Sudoku. 5, 5, one of those is 5. Oh, one of them is also 7. 7, 7, this is a 5, 7 pair. 6 is in one of these cells, and now we can place it in column 1, definitely there. And 8 is not in these two because that's a 7, 8 pair. Column 1 to the rescue. That's not 9 because of this. So this forms a 3, 4 pair. That digit must be the same as that. This digit is 9. Up here we've got 8, 6, 9, 7, 5, and those two see 1, 3. So they're a naked pair of 2, 4. Now, this is on the 16 diagonal. What? If that was a 2, could these two add up to 14? No, because that's maximum 7. So if that was a 2, this would have to be a 1 on this diagonal. 1, 2, something, something. Those would, in fact, it would have to go 1, 2, 6, 7, and 6 is not allowed there. In fact, right, this digit is not, now that it's 2 or 4, it's not the third of a 3-cell diagonal, because the maximum that could add up to then is 9. So this digit is on the diagonal. And this digit is not allowed to be 7, 5, 6, or 9. It has to be bigger than that, so it's not 1 or 2. This is 3, 4, or 8. And it's on this diagonal. Now, if that's 4, this has to be 8. That would not be on the diagonal. It would have to go 1, 3, 4, 8 to make this a 4. If this is 2, I think it doesn't work then. Even though you could have a 1 here, you have to get these two to add up to 14 or 13. And I think we've just been through this. There is no way to do that and maintain the thingy. So that is a 4, maintain the thermometers. That is a 4. That is a 2. This is now 8. 8, 12. It must be 3 and 1 to make up the 16 diagonal. That's very clever. I really like the way this works. I've finished box 1 now. I can put in 1 and 3. That 3 sorts out the 4, 3 pair down here. And this, now we can do the maths on these thermodiagonals. 9, 18, that's a 7. That one's 8, 8, 6, 3 is 17. Excellent. This is a 1, 9 pair. These are 2, 3, 6, I do believe. In the top row, we need a 9. There's only one place. Then we need a 2 and a 7. The 2 can't be in box 3 again, where we've had a 2. This is a 5, 8 pair. Those are from 5, 8, 9. We've still got this 15 diagonal to sort out. We've done all the others completely. Okay, what is this digit? Because this is quite interesting now. 627953, it sees. It's 1, 4, or 8. Now let's try and rule out both 1 and 8. If that was a 1, it would be the first cell of the of the thermo, and those two would have to add to 14, but they're not allowed to be 8, 6, or 9, 5. So that's not a 1. If it was an 8, since this can't be 9, it would be the last cell of the diagonal, and these two would have to add up to 7 without being 4, 3, or 6, 1. That is possible. 2, 5, 8. Now, if it's a 4, then we can't get the diagonal done in these cells, so we have to go to here, which would be a 5 or a 6. Actually, then it could go 4, 5, 6. I think it would have to. If that was a 6, 4, no, 2, 3, 4, 6 would work as well. Oh, so there are quite some possibilities left. I'm going to have to do more Sudoku. Right, 9, 9, that's a 9. 7, 7, one of those is 7. In the rows, we've done 9s. 4, 4, one of these two is a 4. 6, 6, one of those is a 6. Oh, this is not getting me quite as far as I hoped. I've missed this 20 diagonal entirely. Aha! Right, we're in business. Okay, now we worked out it could start with the 4 if it went 4, 7, 9. If it starts with the 4, it can't reach this cell. Oh, it can't now go 479 because 7 is stopping that being a 7. Actually, 9 is stopping that being a 9. So it's not a 3-cell thermo starting there. It can't start there and reach here because you couldn't keep thermoing up to a 6 there. So it's done. This is not in it because that would have to be a 1 and the start of the thermo. So it's achieved within these 4 cells, and it's at least 3 cells long, so it's definitely going to take these 2. Now, this digit can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the box. So, and it's got to be less than that one. So this is a 5, and that's a 6. This can't be less than 5, so it's not on the thermo. So this is, and it's a 9, and that is the thermo done, 5, 6, 9. Right, now we're in business again. We can put in, I thought we could put in a 9 in the central box, but we can't. We're left with a little X-wing on 9s. That's a 1. Five there, though, has sorted out box 3. And now I can write in 7, 6. This is 9 and 8. I don't know the order of those. However, 8 and 5 there. 8 is looking at this grey cell, which is now a 4. Now, this is 5 or 6 because it must be on the thermo now. Now, the thermo can still just go 4, 5, 6. And by the negative constraint rule, this wouldn't be allowed to be 1, 2, or 3. But the thermo might end here. I think only if it goes 2, 3, 4, 6. So this thermo is either 4, 5, 6 or 2, 3, 4, 6. And I'm none the wiser at the moment about which is right. I'm going to have to do Sudoku instead, which is fine. I like Sudoku. So there's an 8 in one of those cells. There's a 6 in one of those 2 in this box. There's a 4 in one of those 2. This digit sees 2, 3, 5, 9, 4, 1, 7. That is either 6 or 8. 6 is in one of those 3 cells. 6 to 8, 7, 4, 9. Just looking down column 7. Not getting anything done there. This digit is 2 or 7. Oh, there must be some Sudoku. 4, 6, 8, 9 are confined within this area. So these are from 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. I'm going to have to work out, right, let's go back to the 15 diagonal. It's either 2, 3, 4, 6 if it ends here. If it doesn't end here, it must go 4, 5, 6. So 6 is in one of those 2 cells. Can I rule out 2, 3 here? No, probably not. It would make this a 5, which is quite interesting. That would make this a 5, which is fine because we're postulating 2, 3, 4, 6. Maybe I should eliminate 4, 5, 6. That would leave 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that would force... Oh! Yeah, I can eliminate... because I need to put a 4 in this box. In fact, I can write that in. Ah, there we go. That 4, and that 4 force 4 to be here. Now that can't be 6. This is the only place for 6. And this is 6, 4, 3, 2 as a thermo, adding up to 15. And that has finished our last thermo, so now we can finish the puzzle. This digit is a naked 2. Then that's where 6 goes in the column. These are a 1, 8 pair. This is not 6, obviously now. 1, 5, 3 to go in here. That 2 has sorted out 1 and 2 in the corner. If I was in the right mode, that would work. Now we need a 7 in one of these cells. That has to be there. and then a 3 and a 5 in the other two. We can work them out. This is a 2-5 pair that are organised. This one is 1 or 8. Don't know the answer yet. That's 7 or 8. Right, this column, there's a 1-5 pair there. This digit is 3. The 1-5 pair is an X-wing with a 5 over there. And that's going to mean the only position for 5 in the middle box is here. And now, these are an 8-9 pair. Well, now I can fill in 9, then I can fill in 8, then 6, then 4. And thank you to the value of pencil marking. This is the only place for 3 in the box, then 7. Then I'm left with a 1-2 pair, which I'll sort out in a moment. That's become an 8. That's a 9. This is 1. What's this? 7, I think. Yeah, 7, 8. 1 and 8 over this side. Now, I've got a horrible deadly pattern here, but it's going to get resolved when I push a 3 there, 2 there. It probably wasn't a deadly pattern after all, but that's fine. And here we go, 7 and 5. What a lovely puzzle from Richard Stolk. Solve counter number 100. Excellent. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Do look up Richard's SVS series on Logic Masters Germany, because there's a new puzzle every week, and he is just a master at a particular standard of puzzle that really suits me. Very clever stuff, most enjoyable. Thank you for watching. Do join us again on the channel tomorrow. Come back, do more Sudoku with Cracking the Cryptic. Bye for now.